in this scene, Shohei was the only one who didn't understand what had happened. So Kaoruko wanted to go shopping, and Rintaro tagged along, saying he had plenty of time and would have just been bored at home anyway. Now as they walk together, he remembers her reaction to the iced tea she had earlier, the one she added a lot of syrup to. He asks if she's bad with things that are too sweet, and she admits that she actually prefers things that aren't very sweet. Since they're already on the topic, she mentions that she wants to buy a cake as she hasn't had one in a long time. So he volunteers to make a cake for her that isn't too sweet, saying it could be a reward for all her hard work over summer break. Right after, he starts to worry that he might have sounded super arrogant, but when she thanks him saying she can't wait, he blushes and looks away, reminding himself that he needs to practice baking a little more. Later in the shop, while Kaoruko looks for paper, Rintaro notices a pen and remembers that his old one stopped working. As he's looking at it, she suddenly peeks over his shoulder, asking if he's going to buy it, causing him to jump in surprise. She hesitantly asks if she can buy the same pen as well. At first, he's confused, but she really wants to know if he would mind her having the same one. She mumbles a bit, but what she's trying to say is that she wants them to have matching things because they're dating. Of course, he doesn't mind, though he isn't sure why she'd want to match over something as simple as a pen. But to her, it matters because it's something he chose. Hearing this, he blushes slightly once again. In the end, she excitedly buys the same pen in a different color. He notices that she has the same happy expression she gets when she buys cake, wondering if it's really something to be that happy about. He doesn't quite get it, but he's happy about it. After that, they go to the library and head to the reference book section. He realizes it's his first time ever being in that part. When she finishes finding what she needs, she apologizes again for dragging him around. Then she looks at him with curious eyes and asks if there's anything he would like to check out. He wonders if she's expecting something from him, so he takes her to the manga section. From her reaction, he guesses that she doesn't read those much. She tells him it's her first time here, but she's still very excited. He finds the manga series he wanted to buy, and they talk about it for a while. As they're chatting, he asks if she thinks it's a bit childish, but she doesn't think so at all. In fact, she says she wants to try reading some of those and asks him for a recommendation. Her favorite genre is thrillers. She loves mystery novels and dramas where she and her brother try to guess who the criminal is. But unfortunately, that's the one genre he rarely touches. When she asks what he likes, he tells her he enjoys dark fantasy and action. He also mentions that when it comes to movies, he likes horror, and she literally flinches hearing this. That's when he realizes she's terrible with horror, and when she tells him that every time she watches something scary, she has to wrap herself in a blanket all night, he gets curious to see what she's like when she's scared. That's why he suggests they go to the movies next time. She gets excited at first, but then she gasps and asks if he's planning to take her to a horror movie. He tries to lie and says he would never do that, but she sees right through him. He grins when she catches him, and his smile makes her blush and look away. Watching her, he thinks about how much he's learned about her today, and he knows he'll learn even more from now on. To him, going out with someone means gaining courage and joy from the person you care for the most, and if it means they get to spend even more time together, then that's exactly what he wants. Being able to meet whenever they like, without needing any particular reason, and simply spending time like this is so much fun for him. Eventually, Kaoruko finds a manga that her brother reads. He mentions that he hasn't read it, but his friend Shohei brought it to school once. This suddenly reminds him of something important. They still need to tell their friends that they're officially a couple. Well, she has already told Subaru about them. When he worries and asks if her best friend had a problem with it, she reassures him, saying that she was actually happy about them. Still, that's only part of it. He worries that when two people in a group start dating, it might put the others in an awkward position. However, he knows their friends are all good people. He then adds how glad he was when she said that her feelings for him had nothing to do with the fact that they go to different schools. Still, if they want to stay close with the rest of the group, their relationship isn't just their business anymore. anymore. And because he wants everyone to remain friends just like they've always been, he feels they need to be honest with them. She smiles and says that she's completely okay with that. That's how we reach the scene of them sitting together, with everyone curious about what exactly the two of them want to say. Rintaro starts by apologizing for how he and Kaoruko were acting weird on the way back from the beach, worrying that they might have made everyone uncomfortable. Shohei, completely clueless, asks if it was just because Rintaro was hungry, while the others know that definitely wasn't the reason. They also say that it doesn't really matter since no one seemed bothered by it. However, the two of them still need to say it officially, so Rintaro clenches his fist and finally tells them. At first, there's silence, so he tries to continue by saying that they also have a favor to ask, but Shohei suddenly cuts him off with a huge smile, asking if he's serious. Seeing his reaction, Ayato starts laughing, and Shohei admits he can't help it. He's just really happy for them. He congratulates him, saying that his dream has finally come true, since even he noticed him staring at Kaoruko back when they went bowling. Rintaro blushes, telling him not to bring up weird things in front of her. When Saku tells him to calm down, he asks how the others aren't even surprised. It turns out that all of them already had some idea. He then asks Subaru, and she replies that Kaoruko had already told her. Not only that, she was really happy when she did. This makes her blush, and she asks Subaru not to embarrass her in front of Rintaro. The way they both get flustered so easily always makes me smile. Saku then remembers Rintaro mentioning a favor, and since he knows his friends well, he already understands what it is. He wants their friends to keep acting the same as always, even though their schools have a bad relationship. Shohei bluntly says that if they were the kind of people to care about school rivalries, they wouldn't have been hanging out together in the first place. Ayato adds that the two of them don't need to worry about the group at all. He says that he and everyone else wants to keep being friends as long as that's okay with the couple. Rintaro and Kaoruko agree at the same time. In the end, he congratulates them, saying that hearing they're finally dating makes him incredibly happy for them, giving them the most honest and supportive smile. With that out of the way, Shohei says they should celebrate and grab something to eat. Rintaro tries to refuse, but they tell him they aren't just being considerate, they're celebrating because they genuinely want to. As they walk off discussing what to eat, Kaoruko turns to Rintaro and tells him that she's really happy right now. And of course, he feels just as happy as she does. The scene then shifts slightly, showing Shohei's shocked reaction when he finds out that the confession happened while they were lighting sparklers, and that he accidentally interrupted them. We also get things from Subaru's point of view. She thinks that while Kaoruko will be fine with the guys, she's still the only other person there from Kikyo, so she has to step it up and be there for her if anything happens. She knows that for the longest time, Kaoruko has been the one protecting her. She's the one who changed her outlook on life and helped her meet such wonderful people. That's why she decides that this time she'll be the one to protect her. But don't worry, nothing terrible is going to happen in the upcoming chapter. It's mostly just Rintaro baking a cake with his father while chatting with his friends about Saku's birthday. However, those episodes will be the start of my new ship. But for now, that's it for this video. Thank you for listening to me. Take care of yourself and goodbye.
All the highs and the lows, no, you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change.